Hi, I'm James McGuire, and on today's eSpeaks, we're talking about trends in enterprise IT. We'll look at current trends and we'll take a glimpse into the future as well. Along the way, we'll dig into the concept of data ops and why that's gaining momentum. To discuss all that, I'm joined by a very special guest. With me is Ayman Syed, President and Chief Executive Officer of BMC Software. Ayman, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're very welcome, James. Thank you for having me.
You know, when you spoke with eWEEK about a year ago, we were in the middle of the pandemic, and now about a year later, it's still with us, unfortunately. So, from where you sit, how do you see companies approaching their tech infrastructure, given all the stresses that have gone on? I mean, are they struggling? Have they adapted? What do you say?
During the pandemic, we all learned to adjust to uncertainty and to the change. And it seems like change has been constant, especially over the last couple of years. The pandemic put a lot of hardship and a lot of impact in industries around the globe. But at the same time, it taught us some important lessons on how to adapt, how to pivot, and how to pivot quickly. We introduced the Autonomous Digital Enterprise, or ADE, back in 2020. And it's a model and a vision for the future and how technology can be used by businesses, large and small, in every industry segment to be able to deal with that change and adjust to it. And a key pillar of that ADE model is data and how it can be used and translated into insights that you can use to drive the business. As you're fully aware, there is a ton of data that we generate in every industry, but the trick of it is how to put it to good use, how to apply analytics and machine learning to get insights from it. At BMC, we're not an analytic company, we're a data operations company. We help customers collate, adjust, and feed that data so that they can use analytics and use it to generate insights that they can use it to modify and optimize the business.
You know, it's really interesting. I think the concept of data ops, which is getting so big these days, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I mean, why is data ops so big these days?
Data is very important, and it's been called the currency of the century. And enterprises in every domain generate a ton of data. However, much of this data, as much as 80%, remains dark, meaning we're not tapping into the potential or value of it with analytics. We're not able to leverage it and use it to generate insights that we can use for the business. At BMC and with our ADE strategy and model, we help and partner with our customers to help them with their data operations so that they can extract this data and put it to good use. A lot of good examples to share with this. Tampa General Hospital, for example, used our data and used our systems to orchestrate their entire hospital operation, using data from staffing, from supply, from utilization of their hospital and the medical facilities, so that they can serve their customers better and at the peak of the pandemic, be able to route cases to where they have the capacity and put it to good use. Another example from a very different industry is Navistar International. They make heavy road vehicles and have a very large fleet of trucks. And they have like over 1,000 dealers worldwide. Now, they use data and utilize it so that they can route their fleet, and they're able to collect online data from sensors, from OT devices. They have inventory of parts, and they use all of this so that they can optimize when they have maintenance windows, what maintenance time, to what repair depot, and they can keep their fleet running at very high utilization and ensure business continuity. Just a couple of examples of many customers we help to build their data pipelines, their data operations, and use it to optimize both top line and bottom line.
Interesting. You know, you touched on the idea of the autonomous digital enterprise, the ADE. I want to make sure we properly cover that. Is there anything you'd add in terms of how that helps customers?
So think of the ADE as a framework and a model of how companies will use and evolve their use of technology into the future. It's built around certain traits that every business would have to embody and exhibit to succeed into the future, around customer centricity, around leveraging data and insights to modify their business, and around how they can be customer centric and improve the experience for their customers. So it's agility, use of data, customer centricity, and you arrive at these traits by leveraging an operating model that uses technology to run the business end to end. It has 5 key pillars, from customer centricity and driving a transcendent customer experience to business agility and DataOps and DevOps for business, if you would, to leveraging this data and turning it into insights, to cybersecurity and enterprise security as a pervasive security end to end, not as a gate, but integral in every step of the business, and certainly about intelligent hyper-automation across the business. Businesses that embrace this model and are able to adjust to it and leverage the technology for all what it offers to a business can differentiate from the competition and break away and succeed. Many examples to share about this, but one example that comes to mind is Carrefour, which operates a very large multinational grocery chains across Europe. They use our software and our system to optimize and deal with inventory across their stores, pricing and discounts, business close. They use our automation and orchestration solutions from BMC so that they can operate these 12,000 stores across 30 countries and are able to keep their processes running and optimize their business flows in their business to improve their margins and make sure that they have the right inventory for customer and delighting their customers in the process.
All right. So ADE and DataOps are pretty big technologies. In addition to those two trends, what else is BMC focused on for 2022?
So in addition to our focus in ADE and DataOps, we see the world having the potential to benefit a lot from technologies like AI, and we're embedding this in every aspect of our portfolio, thus moving operations into AI ops, for example, automating the detection and remediations of issues before they even happen. And with platforms like BMC Helix, we're able to ensure that our customers can operate their systems while maintaining security and compliance. We continue to investing into the embedding of AI, predictive analytics, and connecting our different systems into a common platform with common view to data so that you can put it to the best use possible. And we do this together with a strong network of partners that help with the integration and service and bringing these solutions to life in our customer systems.
Interesting. So I'd love to get your sense of any other big trends for this year. I mean, just several weeks back, we had a tweet chat about, big tech predictions for this year. What are your predictions for technology for the year 2022?
I look at 2022 and I see businesses from different industry domains shifting from the survival mode where we all hunker down and try to cope with COVID and what it meant as a pandemic, into trying to break away and take these lessons we've learned and apply them to differentiate and drive growth. I would see companies large and small pivoting from just IT strategy to running technology and using it across the business, including lines of business, and applying these lessons that we've learned in agility in evolving the business offering business sites to run it across the entire organization. I see technologies and new technologies that we and others have put in place being leveraged to its full potential to accelerate growth and drive differentiation for every business.
I mean, there is no doubt that the pandemic changed technology forever. I mean, in many ways accelerated it. Ayman, thank you so much for sharing your expertise today. I definitely learned something. Thank you very much.
Thank you, James. Great to be here.